Good morning, Corey at Rockpole. How are you? It's Saturday morning. So today we got our lengths of steel for our floor. They are 8 metre lengths, and they're 6 inch by 2 inch or 150 mil by 50 mil by 3 millimeters thick, or like, what's that, like an eighth of an inch thick. So we've just got to cut these down to a certain length to suit our needs. So we've got the saw here, just a basic power hacksaw, you know, turn it on, cuts, drops down, easy. That's all running off our off-grid system, so that's a bonus, don't have to start the generator. So what we'll do is we're just going to sort of make a start, lay the beam out, cut it, stack them up, and then we'll take them over there because it's going to be a bit of a hot one today, so we'll get this done early. We'll check in after a few lengths and we'll just let you know how we're going. So our measurement is 5.9 metres, just a little mark. Nice mark. And then we just give it a shuffle up to the blade. How much further roughly?
100 mil, 80, 50, stop.
Make sure it's lined up nice and correct. Do it up, double check, lovely. Alright, so turn it on, turn the valve on, adjust it a little. You don't want it too fast, just slow and steady pace. And this takes about a minute. So I just give the end a quick grind just to take this little burr off inside and outside. Alright, so we're out here again in the morning. I got these posts, there's Hippo, got these posts done yesterday. They're all nice and in a straight line. They're all chemi anchored down with bolts, nice and firm. But so the middle ones aren't done yet. Plan was to do the outside row of posts there and here, and then we'll put these 6 metre steel beams across like that, like that one, and then they'll pretty much set where the centre posts go, and then I'll do them today. So, but we're just going to get these 10 beams on this morning. I've got one of my helpers here. Sit. Sit. Oh, good girl. Hey, good girl. Yeah. She likes a good scratch. Likes a bit of sunshine in the morning. Little Hippo. Hey, yeah, also yesterday realised that one of the posts was actually 30 mil too long. For some reason, when I measured them, I must have stuffed up the calculation with the dumpy and the laser. So I just had to cut it down and basically re-weld it on. So that was a little bit annoying because it's almost been 100% success rate. So within the next half an hour I reckon we'll have all these beams up across here. I've got all my helpers out here now. Got a little dozer, big charger. Oh yeah, a bit early, isn't it, buddy? And a Hippo. Hippo. Hi. She's always up for anything this early in the morning. Charger, come here. There we go. We've got them all now. Dogs, I tell you. Okay, so that literally took 15 to 20 minutes to get all those main beams in, like that. So they look alright. I'll just come down here for a bit of a like level sort of perspective. They all look pretty in line. They look really good. Now we'll go get some more, because we've got a full another beam like this. We've got that running the whole like on these long sides as well, and now will get bracketed on there. Wow, so okay. Look at that. So these are our edge beams that I've got to screw all the big brackets and stuff on too, and then we'll put them vertically around the edge. And then there's a few pieces to infill, sort of in between each one, like that, sort of all the way down. So we've got a heap of 2 metre offcuts, and these are just under 2 metres, so that worked out well. And the SIPS panels will span 2 metres on the floor. So, a bit more work to do now, but look at it. Wow, this is absolutely awesome. Alright, so all I'm doing here is just got this is the side beam that's going to go on here. So I've just got it laid out on the top in the to the right measurement that I wanted it. So I'm just going to square up the inside edges of this and put a mark up here. And then I'll just transfer that square across the top. And then we have these brackets here, which are designed to tech screw down like that, and then this beam will go on the vertical, and they basically slide in there, and we can tech screw it from the side. It's quite an easy method, engineer approved, so I'm happy with that. So I'll put that there, and I'll put a clamp on it, and I'll just tech screw it. So I'll just go mark out the rest. Okay. Okay, so these get 5 screws in that way. I basically just sweep the swarf out, because I don't really want that in the tube. Now I tap the little corners over, so I'll just tap these edges over. Mainly just the corners here, because they get bound up on the inside here, make it a little bit awkward to get in sometimes. Put all them on, those 5 are on, all good. Next part of the process is a little bit awkward, a bit heavy. So what I do is I get the C-clamps and I clamp these just little standard little purlin brackets onto there. I've got my little helper, I don't know if you can see him. I use this strap, I'll explain that in a minute. So I'll just clamp them on there, one each end, and then I can physically rest this beam on these and then push it in to here a little bit. And then I get my strap, which young Dozer's making sure it's all ready for me. And pre-organised, got this on, hooked up, and then I can just ratchet it tight and it pulls in from the other side, and it will just pull both beams in like that, so there's no risk of it falling out on me. So it's in. I get this strap, just give it a tighten. I reckon works smart, not hard. Even though it was a little bit heavy, but it's only for a minute or so. So that's pulled in nice and tight. They're all nice and level. So now I'll just get a couple more Tech screws and just put a couple of screws, hey, in each one. What's this? How are you doing? Hey, come and say hello to the camera. Say hi. My name's Dozer, and I just hang out with Dad. Don't ya? You do? Yeah. They just get all basically Tech screwed together. I haven't Tech screwed the posts in yet because I've just got to run a string line down this edge to full length, the 18 metres, just to get it nice and straight before I Tech these off. And then we just have a join piece of steel. It'll get put in there. Yeah, it's all looking really, really good. So these are the Tech screws that we're using. Don't know how they will. Let me just try and zoom in here. So they're the Tech screws that we're using. They're pretty heavy duty. They drill through, well, these can drill through up to sort of 12mm steel. They're really, really good. The next little thing I do to get these all straight is I run a string line down the face of this steel. Now I like to use, this is 100-pound braided fishing line, so it's very thin. Oh, hi. He's never far from me. So it's very thin, but it's very strong, and you can pull it nice and tight, you know. So just put that over me little packer. They're just standard 10mm horseshoe packers. Okay, so that's clamped on. I like to keep the line about 10mm off the steel. That's why there's strings on the face of that packer. So if there's any slight deviations in my steel straight line, it won't hit the string line and bow it out. And then I'll just go through with my little other packer and just double check that everywhere's 10mm. If it needs to go in or out, I'll just give it a hit with the hammer. Hence why none of these beams, apart from the end ones, this end and the other end, all the rest are just floating on top of those posts so they can move back and forth until I've got them in the right spot. Okay, so I'll just take you for a little walk so you can see the line. See the line, and it's approximately, oh, I'll get my packer, but we're within a few mil the whole way. We are, so we are pretty straight. But I'll just fine tune it with the packer and just moving these beams in and out depending on where it wants to go to the line, and you can see that they're not fixed. Yeah. Alright, so now what I'm doing is I'm just checking each end with the dumpy level. I just want to double check that I am within like the level tolerance, which is hopefully spot on. So I just set up the dumpy. I'll get a measurement from the top of this steel to my little measurements here, and then I'll check the other end and we'll see how far out we are. It's 1/2 mil out according to the dumpy level. I will check it with the laser as well, but as a guide, pretty happy with that. So now what I'm doing, pardon me, is because our house is 6 metres wide, so I'm dividing it into thirds. So I've got a line, string line here at the 2 metre mark, and I'm going to run another row of beams all the way down. You can see down here that I've started putting them in, so they'll go all the way the long ways of the house. There'll be 2 rows of them, and then that'll be all the framework. And then the SIP panels will basically, they're 6 metre panels, so because our house is 6 metres wide, they will just essentially just sit straight on, and they're all got 150mm LVLs inside each join of the SIP panel, so that is great for extra strength. Okay, so I've cut my little bit to length that goes in between here. Now I'm not sure how well you can see, but I've cut 2 slots out of the tube. Because we're using these internal fixed brackets, they didn't have the external type, which means obviously the internal type goes on the inside, the external type would go on the outside, and I wouldn't have to cut these slots because I can't get them in between here without cutting it. So, and then I just get my spanner and I bend these up a bit. Basically, that is because, if you see here, I've got Tech screws in there, and the little flap hits the Tech screws when I slide this up from the bottom. So I've got my clamp. Alright, so now we get this bit of tube here, and we will basically, hopefully, it will slide up. It is tight, but okay. And I'll just put a little clamp that just goes underneath here and on top, just to stop it from falling down. Do that both sides, and we're in. Make sure it's tight into there. Looking good. And I get my nice Tech screws. Now what I'm also doing is I'm only just putting sort of a minimum amount of screws in at this stage until it's all Tech screwed together, and then I will come back and systematically infill all the rest of the screws. So these will actually get 3, like 1, 2, 3 each side. First event for the morning. I've got to just check in the levels of the steel frame. So I've got my special water level here to assist me. So we have a test, and we put it back, and we just make sure that it's equal margin of cup around. So I'm pretty happy. Frame's pretty level. So that's my little man down there. Hey Dozer. He's just crashed out on the bit of steel. Ooh. Hi. Is that comfy? Hey. So, back out here at my little project. Just plodding on with the finishing off Tech screw and everything. Making sure everything is level, plumb, square, all those fancy words. So just a little thing of what I do here is I have levelled the perimeter steel section, so like the perimeter which goes all the way around. Did that with the dumpy and the laser, so it's all pretty spot on. And then the middle one, what I do is I run a string line just on a packer with a C-clamp, just holding it to the steel. And I've got the same at the other end. I'll see if we can get this here. So I've got my other 10mm packer, and I've set the string line for, is it gonna focus? For 10mm above the steel. And you can see that that just slides in. Lovely. So I've done that on both ends. And then I was going to get my leg over. Then I come to the centre, and as you can see, hopefully, the packer is down from the string. So what I've got is I have these little 1mm window packers. Well, I call them window packers, but they're just plastic U-shaped packers. And we basically get the pry bar, and you can see I haven't tech screwed the centre, so I can move it to where I want. So I basically put a plastic packer under there as I need it, and that's what will get it up level with the line. And then I know that I'm straight from like left to right, and then I'll tech screw this off here. And that's it. That's how I've done all the centres. So they're all pretty good. And that's just an overview of what I've done so far. Now this isn't that big. It's only 18 metres long by 6 metres wide. So it might look a bit bigger in the camera, but it's not that big. So we didn't really want a big house. It's going to be nearly 2 metres off the ground at that end. And then the shortest post I made was that end, which was the post itself was 100mm. That was just my starting reference. Yeah. I'll just get back to screwing this and be looking at having some lunch soon. Alright. Cheers folks. See ya.